Okay, y'all, what are we looking at? Hey, it's me again. We're back in the garage. Okay, vacation is over. Ugh, I know. Hey, but you know what? Sometimes when you come back, it's not too bad. Okay? So, anyway, especially when you got to work on stuff like this or that, or this Barracuda over here, or maybe the truck over there, or the 360 right over there. So, but today, concentrating on this 2280 Holley 2280 carburetor. Um, so, finishing up the assembly on it, and we're going to adjust the floats and take care of all that. Get you all set up here. Let's see. All right. Now, I have already took the liberty of putting these power valves in. All right. So, went ahead and did that. You'll find these carburetors on a lot of late 70s and early 80s Mopar, uh, 318s, and that sort of thing. So, now, I have several manuals covering this carburetor, but lots of times I will use this right here. This is always a pretty good source of information. All right, we need to do float level adjustment. Okay, now, when you do float level adjustment, this is the part that's probably the most difficult for some people, but really, it's not that bad. It's not that big a deal. Okay, now this comes with a little gasket, so make sure to use a little gasket. Get it out of the bag. It's a little aluminum gasket. See, it just goes on the needle and seat assembly, which this is all one piece. This does not come apart in two pieces like some of the older ones. Holley or Chrysler used this carburetor for a number of years, beginning in the late 70s and on up through the early 80s and on into the mid 80s and up into the late 80s on cars, pickup trucks, vans, you name it. Oops. Silly ass me. I got that thing upside down, didn't I? Easy to do. Now I've already checked my floats to make sure that they're a little bit bent there, aren't they? Okay. I've already checked my floats to make sure that they actually do float. Uh, hence the term floats. So we'll just set them right down in there like that. Now that works so much better. We'll put our needle and seat assembly in here. Just screw them on in. Screw it on in here. Like I said before, this needle and seat assembly is one solid piece. It is not separate pieces. Get a wrench. Run that down in there. Yeah. So, yeah, all the way up until the late 90s on a lot of the M-body Mopars, the Grand Fury and the Dodge Diplomat and the Fifth Avenue, Chrysler Fifth Avenue. So, if you're thinking about one of these carburetors as a performance upgrade on anything more than a slant six, then you're pretty much barking up the wrong tree. Okay? They don't flow a lot of CFMs. Alright, so let's see. Float level adjustment. Invert main body without gasket. Position finger to hold float hinge pin in place. And let's see. Did it come with one of those little adjustment measuring tool deals? It did not. There's usually like a little white piece of paper, and it's got numbers on it and everything else, like a miniature measuring stick or something like that. But we don't really have to have that. We just need to, like, it just helps if you do. Here we go. I got something to measure it with. Oh, yeah, I got one of these too. Okay, I got two things to measure it with. So here we go. All right, so we want to turn the thing upside down. Measure as specified from toe of floats to surface of casting. Then float tang to adjust if required. So basically they're talking about taking this thing, turning this whole assembly upside down, like so. Okay? Now I'm going to jockey the camera around here just a little bit. Now they're talking about holding this piece here when you turn this upside down. Now, they want you to look, okay, and see where the floats are at here, okay? Now, there's an settings on the back side. Okay, now, don't know the exact numbers from this carburetor because this carburetor was a little bit corroded, so a lot of the numbers just got corroded away, just kind of like corroded away. But we're going to go, let's see, float level. What do you know? It's 9/32 all the way. From, let's see, 78 through 89. So 9/32. Okay, so I'm going to turn this sucker upside down. I'm going to measure across. And so now this is kind of hard to get on camera, I know, but they want you to do it like so. So I've got 8/32 on one side and about 4, maybe 6 on the other. So I'm supposed to have 9/32. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to bend this tab. They're talking about bending that tab right there. Okay, so they want you to bend that tab back to gain the adjustment that you want. Now some people will go and they'll take that tab and they'll just pull up the float assembly right up against that. And I don't want to do that. I would rather be a little more genteel about this. I don't want to go be all Hulk-like about it, you know. Okay. Starts out finger loose, and then you have to get the wrench and get it out the rest of the way. All right. So here we go. All right, I got to bend this tab back just a fraction. Okay. Sometimes, you know, in disassembly, these floats get beat up a little bit. So you just got to go and sometimes you got to finesse them and wiggle them and You know, you got to move them around just enough. Oh, need one seat assembly. Run that sucker back in there. So we're supposed to have 9/36. I had 8. 8 would probably be okay for a lot of people. But if I can get 9, I'm going to work for it. Okay, so. Whoa, yeah, we went way too far. So. Okay. I mean, probably went too far on that one too. All right, I got 9. I got 9. All right, so turn it upside down. Take your little measuring stick and you look for 9/32. Okay, that was 8. There's 9. So I think that will be plenty sufficient. Okay. Now, there's this little assembly right here. I forgot to put that in. So I got to get that sucker, get that put back in. I'm also going to go ahead and put my jets in too. All right, so my floats are set. They are ready to rock and roll. So we'll go ahead. Let's see. Did this go around here like that? Have to remember, have to go to the instructions sometimes and pull out the instructions. Yes, it did. It did go in there like that. So, wow. Okay. This is going to be tricky. Tricky, tricky, tricky. All right. Here we go. Here we are. So we'll put it in like that. Oh, I just forgot. I was going to go ahead and put the jets in real quick. Yes, I was saying performance upgrade. I would not look at these carburetors as a performance upgrade at all for anything other than maybe a stock slant 6. If you got a stock 1-barrel slant 6 and you're looking to do maybe a performance upgrade, you've got a 2-barrel intake and you want to step up, I think this might be a pretty decent carb for that. But keep in mind, while this is a 2-barrel, and the jet, it just screws down in there like that. All right, so we'll put that in there like so. You want to be careful about putting these jets down in there. I did it by hand, but you can also use like these, or you can use, you know, something like that also. Doesn't matter. It's what you're comfortable doing. Okay? Okay. Got that done. Got the jets in. Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to set this dude down in here. Hopefully, for the last time. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Okay, what is this little dude? That is probably to prevent any kind of surging. You know, when the engine, you hit the brakes and the car surges forward in a very panic stop or something like that. It keeps the fuel from like rushing away from the jets and the power valves. Okay, so now for some of you all, you're probably looking at this and you're thinking, wow, that's very similar to like a that is very, very similar to like the Carter 2-barrel, and you would be right. It is. It's very, very similar to the Carter 2-barrel. Oops. You saw me. Made a mistake right here. On camera. So I've got to put, there's a lot of little bits and pieces here, so sometimes you kind of forget, you know? You kind of forget where things go. So, that's what happens sometimes. There's a little check ball. A check ball put down in there that I thought went there actually goes under my Venturi assembly. And there's a little, this little piece right here goes under there. Hope you can see real well what I'm doing. Okay. Okay. There we go. Got that little check ball. Put that down in there. Then that little piece goes in there. That check ball assembly, what that is for exactly, that is to keep the fuel up here, and when the engine is shut off for extended periods of time. Okay, so you're not, when you go to crank it up, you're not sitting there going, you know, running the starter to death trying to crank it up. So, all right, got those run down. Those are tight. Okay, I'm going to put in my adjustment screws. They did not send me new little grommets or O-rings for these, so, and I don't have new ones to go on it. But yeah, if you have like a slant 6 or a something like that, and you're thinking to yourself you want to like upgrade the performance of that slant 6, this might be a pretty good option for you. I wouldn't think it'd be that fantastic of an option if your slant 6 is like modified, like if it's got, I'd say even if it's got like a mild cam, then this thing is probably going to be struggling to keep up. Yeah, these aren't fantastic carburetors. They're not. I mean, as far as a daily driver, you're probably not going to find much better than that. But if you're looking at something a little more high performance that you're wanting to get a hold of, then I would suggest something I would suggest something more along the lines of maybe a Holley 350 2-barrel, 350 CFM 2-barrel. Yeah, because these are pretty restrictive by flow. I mean, when Chrysler was putting these on their 318s, they knew their 318s weren't going to make a lot of power with these. I mean, you can go and take one of those 318s from back then, just swap out your carburetor and intake, and oh my God, it's like a whole nother car. So I'm going to bag it out 1, 1.5. Run this one down all the way. Okay. There's half. There's 1. There's another half. I'm gonna do this one again because I think I kind of lost track. All right, so there's half. There's 1. There's 1.5 right there. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, the owner, the future owner of this carburetor, he's more of a guy who is more. He's a little more interested in his Dodge truck. He just wants something that's going to be like a daily driver kind of thing. So that's what he's more interested in. So, okay. Oil. I like to put a little oil in these in this bore where the accelerator pump goes. That way when I put them together, the accelerator pump, this does not flip over and cause problems. This is neoprene or silicone, or rubber. It's not, it's not brand, it's not leather or something like that. So just thought you might want to know that. So here we go. Now, lots of times I'll go and I'll just wipe off the excess. You don't have to. Just wipe off this excess. Now, when I get this done, this is going to go on the $50 318, just to make sure that this one is going to be a very good runner, because the guy that's going to be the future owner of this carburetor, he's just a good all-around guy, and I don't want to disappoint him. So there we go. Okay, we are ready to put the top portion on. So